LSUS Esports Time Capsule, where we revisit our teams and share our stories. And today I have my lovely co-host KP and my lovelier guests Connor and Harold from the OW1 Team. How's everyone doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
I'm doing good.
Great.
I had some fire noodles and
Oh yeah, that's a good way to wake up. Hey, you're energized now. So how
water
have you?
break.
Yeah, water break. Got the Owala. I'm all set. I'm all good. You got your strawberry kiwi juice, or is it a different flavor?
Apple.
Oh, apple. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Love it. Love it. How have you two been, Harold and Connor? How have you two been?
I've been pretty good. I just sorry for talking over you, Connor.
No.
You're good.
Yeah, you two go.
But I just graduated with my bachelor's in cybersecurity and networking, and I'm gonna be going back for an extra year to get my master's, just because the program just allows for an extra year for the master's. So I'm like, I may as well do that, get some extra bread whenever I'm done.
Great.
And then yeah, so that's been pretty much it.
Nice. I've mostly just been hanging out. I think I'm currently unemployed, but we're in there. I've mostly been like playing competitively in Pokemon. I just got back from New Orleans from the North American International Championships.
Hey, 318.
Although I didn't play in it. I didn't play in it, unfortunately, but I had fun hanging out with friends and playing in side events and whatnot.
I love it. New Orleans is always great. Yeah.
It was super fun. Super hot though.
And then KP, you and I, we don't need to talk about it because we're not going to answer that question 8 times in a row, right?
I mean, I got a webcam now, so
that is true. That's true. That's the biggest update. He has a webcam. We didn't have one for the first episode, but he's got one now. He's all set, and I'm standing. I guess that's my update. I'm standing. My chair was just giving me too many distractions. So hey, everyone's got good updates. Everyone's living life good. So I'm happy about that. So we're here to talk about the Overwatch 1 team, one of the classic teams, because it was the 3 original teams was Overwatch 1, League of Legends, and Rocket League, and we're one of them, thankfully. And we're just going to be talking about like how the whole team started from start to finish, because there is an Overwatch 2 team, so it's going to be a complete oral history. I'm excited to get back into it, to tell everyone everything or almost everything. And then we just share what we remember and love about the team. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I get to tell the story this time because for League of Legends, we had Haley because he was the founder. And because I'm the founder, I get to, take over for once.
Co-founder.
And you're the co-founder. Yeah. So speaking of founding, we're going to start before we start, we need to talk about what Overwatch is. So Overwatch, Overwatch 1, not Overwatch 2, is a 6v6 hero shooter. You play a different character. All the different characters have different roles and different abilities, and you go to all sorts of different places in the game, and you get to do various objectives like you King of the Hill, you take over a point, or you move a car from one point to a different point, or you take a point and then you move a car. And so that's basically the whole game. Anything I missed about Overwatch 1? And about what it is?
Good old 2CP.
Oh goodness! What's even the original name of that map or game or a map mode anyway? I keep
forgetting. Like Assault or something. I don't remember.
Assault. Yeah, there's Assault too. Don't miss Assault. That's for sure. I definitely do not miss Assault.
I think I minded too bad, but
I didn't really mind it either.
I guess I'm the center. Yeah, no. All right. So we're going to get started. We're going to go all the way back to summer 2021. Because that's when Haley recommended me to Haley. No, he didn't. What the hell am I saying? I'm so excited. So Harold, Cam, myself, we all got together because Haley recommended those two to me. And you two were the first people that ever said I wanted to join the Overwatch team because I've been in the club for less than a year. I found players, but I couldn't find any athletes, and so it was you two. I guess the 3 of us for now. I actually gave y'all a campus tour, and we were just talking about how we're gonna make the team and whatnot. And then Harold, I don't know if you remember, you told us that like if we only got one more player, we could compete in team deathmatch. But turns out we had even more than 4. So
yeah. Wait, no, I think they said like, oh yeah, we have 3 people, we can do a 3v3 deathmatch or something.
That was it.
It was something like that. Because I played tank, Cam played DPS,
and I was on
he
support,
played support,
and I was support.
So
yeah, so
we
it would have been
had a
perfect.
3v3 tournament lineup.
Yeah, but thankfully that didn't happen because, and I'm looking down. I have my own notes, so forgive me if I look down, audience. So that was the 3 of us, and then GeekCon that year we met a few more. I don't exactly remember who we met, but the first club meetings too that fall. That's when we also met everyone. So like those 2 events, that's when we got everyone together, and so the inaugural roster, the very first roster, it was the 4 of us, Austin, Kyle, and Jermaine. And then there was also Vinny and Jack, but Vinny had we had to kick him for the team. Unfortunately, he was in one game day, and then family issues, so he didn't have time. And then Jermaine, or not Jermaine, KB and Jack, y'all actually weren't on the main roster because we were playing on Play Versus. I'll talk about that soon. But we could not add y'all to the main roster, so y'all were kind of like a pseudo broadcast team, and that was the main roster. And it was funny because after that we made the team. We actually had the very first media day. Do y'all remember the media day?
Media day was so fun.
Oh my god, I loved it.
Those were. I think both of them were kind of my favorite days because that kind of solidified it as like, oh, this isn't just like some friends trying to make it up the ladder. It's like, no, we actually have some branding behind us, which like, I mean, I know that we really didn't get too far within our Overwatch 1 didn't get too far within this scene. I don't know about Overwatch 2, but it was still very cool just to seem very professional while we did.
Yeah,
it was super fun
stuff.
I'm gonna drop the in the chat. I'm gonna drop the first picture because I was the one that actually pushed for it because I was talking to Matt about it, and I was just like, well, if we're bringing a brand new team, and athletics are gonna need our pictures eventually, so that's ultimately why we did it. Here, I'm about to drop it in our chat right now. If I can post me, I'm either going to put it on screen or I'm going to leave like an Imgur link down below for the audience to see. But yeah, that's the first picture. All right, how do y'all feel? Tell me your thoughts.
Wow.
I still use that on my picture on all my all my LSUS stuff. Yeah, like I still have that as my email, like my Outlook picture, and
it's clean, yeah.
Picture.
Yeah, you are still a student, so makes sense.
I have a lot of flex here.
Yeah, we have
flex here, flex here,
we have
there.
like how many flexes do we have? One, two, three. Three.
Three.
But then you and Austin, y'all switched to tank, and then Jermaine switched to DPS. Yeah. I believe.
I still played flex. I think there were still some games where I would hop on DPS depending on the comp. Because we didn't have. Did roll lock get introduced midway through our time, or did it get introduced after?
It should have been roll lock.
I think we were like might have just like just the thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was like either like right before, like I mean, it was either in the middle or right after our run that roll lock kind of got introduced.
Yeah, and so that was the team. The media day was fun. I will say, kind of a leak. I was the only one that made a vlog of it, and it's actually going to go on the YouTube channel. I can't say a date. I can't say a date. You don't remember me recording it?
I have no recollection.
Really?
That was like 4 years ago.
Ooh, okay.
I almost recorded one. I have the.
It was your idea, wasn't it, Harold?
Intro. Yeah, I had the intro somewhere on my phone, but like I think I've since deleted it because Google has complained about how much storage I'm using.
Oh, well, I got the Google or not Google Plus. What is it? The Google Premium something where you get more storage space for everything. Yeah. So that's what I got. So I was able to preserve it. But yeah, that vlog will be coming out on a date because I don't know when this podcast is coming out, but just keep your eye out for it. I remember because I was rewatching it. I had to rewatch it recently, And I remember Cam, whenever he would take our pictures, he would always try to psych us out and make us laugh. Every single time, every single person that went through, because I remember, I hate my face in this picture, because I had the So Much Flavor, I had the Cheez It Grooves shirt, and I was like, just trying to do my pose, and when Cam's just like, so much flavor, and I'm just like, and I immediately broke, and I was just like, I hate you. And that's the one we used. And shout out to Rob, because he's the one that actually took all those photos. I was the one that put everything else together. But yeah, he took our photos for that media day and the next one. So shout out to him. He's a great guy. But, when there's a first media day, there's also a first game day. Do y'all remember the very first game day?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I remember it a little bit.
Okay.
I remember I didn't. I remember I didn't play because I was still kind of the main coach, purely just because I had experience.
That's right. Yeah, I was the captain. I was the captain because in the past, whenever you wanted to make an LSUS esports team, you were just automatically assigned as the captain, just namesake, and then you're the coach, Harold, because you were the only one with actual Overwatch competitive experience out of everyone. Mm-hmm.
So I'd been a part of a couple of orgs beforehand and had done some coaching with some GMs, but
yeah.
But for the most part, this was kind of like my first collegiate level experience.
I think it was for almost everyone. I think it wasn't my first time in like a competitive team environment, but it was my first time in like a gaming team environment, because the last team experience I had was Quiz Bowl at my high school.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a shock. I was in Quiz Bowl.
I did soccer in high school and did team sports growing up, so it necessarily wasn't a competitive environment, but and then I think midway through, sorry to divert, I think midway through, didn't KP and Connor, didn't y'all realize that y'all went to the same school midway through the timeline?
Yeah, that's right.
We both went to NSU at that time, our freshman year, and then we both transferred to LSUS at the same time. And I was like, bro, I did not see you on campus at all.
That's crazy.
Where were you?
Blood brothers.
It's a relatively big campus, but it's still relatively small at the same time. So it's just we could just miss each other.
Mm-hmm. And then I've been to NSU before, not for school. I was there for a student council event, years before any of us started college. So, well, Harold, have you ever been to Northwestern for anything at all?
I've driven past it for different stuff. I was part of a history club in high school, so we went to Natchitoches to
the ghost stories
history club stuff. But the ghost stories about NSU.
Yeah,
I've not heard those.
Okay, we'll get into it later.
Me either, and I went there.
Really, there was one. I don't remember what it was about, but it was just a typical school ghost story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just typical. Okay. We'll share with it later. But the very first game day, it was against Colorado Mesa, and it was technically week 0, so it was our preseason, so it didn't technically count on our record, but we still had to do it. And oh my god, us playing, because we had a game night before where we were just doing I think it was just 3v3. I don't know, just not a serious game. And then when we got in, none of us said anything when we were playing. The communication was at 1%. Because we didn't know what we were doing.
And I remember as a coach, because I was because I emailed the people who were in charge of Play Versus, and I'm as a coach, can I speak during the game? Because I know a lot of esports like Rainbow Six or in CS2, the coach can only speak during a timeout. And they're oh no, you can speak during the game. So of course I was like, do this, and it was just
we were not listening.
It was just chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just. And I think that was kind of one of the things. I mean, it took us a couple games to realize it, but I think going into it, a lot of people, myself included, even though I've been in a competitive scene, I didn't realize how competitive collegiate Overwatch actually was.
And this wasn't tier 1 collegiate.
No, it wasn't even tier 1. But it was one of those things where it was the time commitment, it was beyond just competitive Overwatch. It was true. It was you either had to be doing school and then Overwatch. Like there was no time for anything else
back then.
And that was kind of one of the biggest realizations, I think, for myself included, but also a lot of people on the team early.
What about you, too? Just early on in the spring, how are y'all feeling just going into the season?
Feeling good.
You go first, Connor. That's it?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay, because Harold was talking about, like, oh, this is going to be a serious time commitment. Like, you know, when everyone was first starting on the team, it's just like, oh, this is going to be a lot more than we bargained for. Just, like, a lot more than we had to do, you know, just moving forward in the team.
I think, like going, like, from, like, that season, I don't really, like, remember, like, my mindset back then.
Sure.
But, like, looking back, like, I'm sure, you know, like, I realized it and just, like, try to, like, put my head down and just try to grind as much as I can.
Yep.
Because I think, like, at that time I was, like, silver, like, mid to high silver.
Most of us were silver to gold.
Most of us were silver.
Except
gold,
for Cam,
yeah.
he was diamond.
Yeah, which is why he, midway through the season, we kind of introduced player coaches to where
that's true. Yeah,
the best player in each role would become a player coach. So that way, me being mainly a tank main, I could focus on coaching the tanks.
Yep.
And I think Cam was our DPS coach, and I think Hayden, he would join on a little bit later on. They would work together as a duo.
I don't think we had a support one. Sorry, you can go on.
Yeah, I think support just kind of was like everybody would kind of coach everybody.
Yeah,
like,
we were on our own tribe.
It was kind of a thing where it was like, oh, hey, I see you're doing this, and I would see in VODs other Mercy players, for example, would do this. Maybe during practice we could try this. It was mainly with support, mainly an exchange of ideas.
Yep.
Than actual coaching. Yeah.
So back to the first game day. So just a tiny memory. We only won one team fight that entire series, and I remember exactly what happened. It was Watchpoint Gibraltar. We were attacking. They got a 6-man Earth Shatter on us, and they did no follow up at all. So we all just got back up and we just started killing them, and then that was it. Like we got it to like under the bridge, and then they just stomped us right then and there. But two good things. Go on.
I was gonna say we did get a win. We did get a win fall semester because I was going through my camera roll and I found the video of our first win. I'll have to send it.
Yes, I think I have one too because I remember KP or first map win or first series win.
Like first overall like.
Oh yeah,
win.
I have it. I have some other footage too.
I think that was our only series win.
It was
that entire semester.
It was. We'll get to that soon. But the very first game, the two things that came out of it was the start of us just going to Canes, just that tradition, because Harold, you were the one that started it. Because we're all like down and in our luck. Haley gave us a little pep talk because he was there, and you were just like, let's just go to Canes, and then we did that for like 2 years. with all the teams.
Yeah.
I mean,
they were a great sponsor for the Winter Invitational.
That's true. Yeah.
Probably my favorite moment.
Oh yeah.
Of my collegiate esports career, even though it was like a year before that I was at LSUS. Just the Winter Invitational was.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna get into that
whenever we
later.
Get into spring.
Oh yeah. Another thing that happened was our broship with Colorado Mesa, because it's funny because we'll talk about them throughout this podcast, but like that school treated us so nicely because we treated them back nicely, and that's all it was. That's all it took for us to do that, because they're like, we've met so many teams like Play Versus or other places where they're just mean or they have like big egos, but we didn't have that at all because we were just fresh on the block, and so that blossomed into a great friendship, and we did lots of things with them in Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2. But speaking of Play Versus, the thing there were a lot of problems with Play Versus. First of all, there was no rank lock back then. That did not exist. You faced off against anyone. Literally anyone.
You could be a bronze team and go against a grandmaster team, and you could not do anything about it.
Sorry to circle back, but with you, it was like that. I think that was kind of one of the first things we mentioned whenever we were going, like whenever we did our practice 0 or like just our first team meeting was I think everybody kind of agreed, like, hey, we can have a little bit of banter here and there, but regardless of win or loss, we're still going to have sportsmanship.
Yep.
We're still going to be nice.
That's all that matters.
Purely because we're going to be treating people the way that we want to be treated, that we would want to be treated. And I think even CMU, there may have been a hiccup where like one of their players couldn't connect, so we made sure to postpone a little bit to where they could get their player to connect. Even if it was 10, 15 minutes, we didn't mind that. And I know that those 10, 15 minutes may have given us some extra time to warm up and everything else. But to them, that was probably a big deal, just because maybe not a lot of other teams had done that, and they had and they may have had to play 5v6 in the past, because I think we were very close to that happening on some occasions as well.
They had to 5v6 actually. I'll get into that soon. But yeah, that was like the first game day, just getting our feet wet, some great traditions starting. But throughout the semester, I remember I dropped as captain. I stayed on the team, but I was like, I can't be captain anymore because I was battling mental health just with the team, because it was such a new thing to me. And like back then, I thought we were going to be like guns blazing, winning everything, but obviously that wasn't the case. And I took it a little too hard, so I was just like, you know what? Someone else could be captain. We can pass that off to someone else. Because I think, did I give you captain, Harold?
You gave it to Cam, because I was already
That's right. Yeah, Cam was captain at that point. And so we were just going along. Then we also brought on Dragon as our coach. He was a temporary coach at first, just giving us pointers, learning the basics, what different comp types are, and just like basic communication, just humble stuff. But that was...
It was a stand-in for tournaments that weren't directly...
That's right.
...affiliate as well.
He also was a stand-in for us.
He stood in for a LAN at Contender.
Yes.
And I think
Winter Invitational too.
Invitational.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So he was kind of like our seventh man, more or less. But before we get into the final CMU game, and do y'all have any game day stories y'all want to share from this semester? Minus the Invitational. We're gonna talk about the Invitational later.
I'd just say I remember we played against Boise State, on Playfly. And I don't think any of us knew it at the time, but they were one of the best Overwatch University,
yes,
they were one of the best collegiate teams in Overwatch at the time, and we just I think average silver, gold, playing against a basically a contenders roster, just about. So that I remember that. I think I remember winning a 1v1 as Zen versus Torb.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. I think we kind of towards the semester, I feel like we kind of embraced that culture of, hey, you're not going to be guns blazing, but let's have fun with it.
Yep.
And I think that's whenever that switch finally clicked, to where, as opposed to hearing silence in occasional callouts, you would hear laughter in callouts.
Yeah, I will say
that was kind of one of the biggest things that kind of switched. But I think going to just a collegiate sport / esport, I think that was one of the biggest things that we learned, is it takes a long time to build a culture of winning.
Oh yeah, because
you see it. Because for example, the Pilots baseball team. I mean, they've been around for 30 years, and I think that they won their first national championship.
Perfect season, baby.
In a perfect 59-0 season. But it still took them 30 years, and that's baseball. That's a traditional sport. That's been around for a really long time, and that took them 30 years to just build a national championship team and a culture that is capable of that. And I think that was one of the biggest things that we learned, is it was you can't really throw good or decent players together and have them do good. It's no, we actually have to build the culture around the team.
Oh yeah, I will say every single time we won anything, we turned that lab into a party. We were yelling and screaming and everything. Yeah, it was,
even if we weren't supposed to. Yeah, we were hooting and hollering and everything.
Everything, every map went everything.
Didn't the police come in one time?
Yeah, that we had the police. Or was it a noise thing, or was it a different thing? Because I know the police came for weather reasons, to evacuate people for weather stuff. But we did get an official noise complaint though from Dr. Sharp.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
and in fact, I had some friends who were in that class, and
That's right. Yeah.
I get a Discord message midway through rounds. I'm like, "Are y'all good in the collab?" I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, we won our first map."
Yeah, we won
And they were like,
Shanghai.
yeah, they were like, "Oh," and then and I think that was the same day that we got that noise complaint.
Oh
As
yeah,
well. But it was just
absolutely.
like, but yeah, it was just one of those things where I mean, everything else really didn't matter. It was just the team, what we were what we were trying to accomplish.
Oh yeah. So more first, the contender LAN. That's when we had our first scrims. That was a rude awakening for me, because we would often not be able to finish maps or get full health, because that's just where we were as a team. Because like, I remember like my shock. It was against, what was it, Eastern Michigan Academy? That was our very first scrim team, and we were on, I don't remember the map, but like we won, or like we got full held, and then we switched sides. They got the point, and then they just kept on moving, and I was just like, "What the hell is this? What do you mean you're still moving?" And then like after like a minute, I was like, "Okay, guys, we're just gonna have to play it like this." And I was like mentally freaking out. I was just like, "Oh my god, we have to keep on, like we can't just move on." Yeah, that was that was.
And I will say one thing that made my life as coach a lot easier was, although you although you dropped captain, you were still what a new kind of role formed, the manager.
That's correct.
Scrims,
Yep.
And everything else. So
Yep.
all we had to do was just go through strategies and bot reviews as a coach.
Yep.
That was all that we really had to. That was all that I really had to do, which made my life as a player coach a lot easier. To where you would just be like, "Okay, we're doing this at this time." I'm like, "Okay, great."
And then I had to talk to the admins too. I was our admin rep, I guess. Technically, yeah. Back then, I couldn't call myself the manager, because there was a point in time in the club where, like, we weren't gonna like just give out random roles to people for just doing stuff. So we kind of had to keep it under wraps. But like, you and Jermaine were actually the ones that like brought it up. You're like, "You're more of a manager," and I was just like, "You know what? You're right. I am a manager." And I just stuck with it, and rolled with it, and then we officially made the manager an official role in the club. So kudos to me and everyone else for doing that. But kudos to us, because we did get our first win in fall 2021. Do y'all remember the team name, or which team it was, or which college it was? Pop quiz.
I feel like it's like something with Michigan in it. I don't know.
It wasn't
I
Michigan.
feel like it wasn't Michigan.
It was not Michigan.
Damn.
It was the College of Coastal Georgia.
Still don't know who you're talking about.
No?
No.
I definitely.
I wasn't using my.
I don't even think I was playing at that time.
You weren't. You were a spectator.
No. You filmed it. You
filmed for us.
Yeah, I was the one like spectating. I think I still have those notes that I wrote on a piece of paper on how to like inspect like the teams and like the F1 keys and stuff like that. It was too funny.
Yeah. And but yeah, I think you started to see like, I think we had won the final team fight and they didn't have enough time to get back. Because I remember one of the broadcasters coming in with their camera, because I saw it out the corner of my eye, and it was just, and I was just like, it was like
hyping it up, yeah.
And I feel like that first win, yeah, I mean, I think that although we really couldn't replicate it, it was still just very powerful.
Just pure joy. It's one of my favorites for sure.
It was definitely just one of those things where it was like, okay, we can finally put something behind all the work that we put into this.
What map was it on? Was it on Havana?
Yeah, we beat them on Havana, but
wait, isn't that the one where y'all did the pirate ship thing with like the Bastion and the Reinhardt?
Any payload we did pirate ship just because.
Just the easiest comp in the world. Well,
the easiest comp in the world.
Yeah.
And I think at that point too, I think it may have just been 1-1, or it may have been like one. Like the series was probably tied, if I remember. Or
it might have been a sweep. It was a sweep.
I just remember.
Yeah, we swept them.
Yeah. Okay. Because I just remember. I remember a lot of the cases. It was just like, hey, it's now or never. Let's just run this comp that we know works. We know that we're good at. And however far we get is however far we get.
So another thing about Play Versus is they didn't do things normally. We had to prevent tiebreakers, everyone had to play 5 maps. No matter what, if you swept, doesn't matter, you keep going. That drained a lot of us, I think, back then. Just having
definitely.
to like it was definitely a marathon for sure. But we got to the end of the season thankfully by going against Colorado Mesa again. When I found this out, I was completely shocked because I was like, how did this even happen? The stars are aligning perfectly for us. So obviously we had to do something special. So I advertised it as like the match of the semester. And I made it like a big graphic with it. And we actually gave away something. I have it right here. It's this wooden, you can't really see it because of my blur. It's basically like a wooden like wrist rest. This one was for the mouse. So imagine this cut in half. Because I had one, I didn't want it anymore. I didn't like it. But I think it was Cam who was like, "Why don't you just give it away?" And I was like, "That's a great idea. That'll bring viewers in." And so that's what we did. We actually ordered a new one. I gave Cam my old one, and we ordered a new one for the winter. But I remember Austin was hanging out at my dorm. We were just killing time, and so we were making our way to the lab. And I had him like, "Hey, can you hold on to the rest?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And all on the way there, we were crossing the bridge, crossing the street, going through the quad, and he was just like naming every single way he could destroy it. I could throw it over there. I can break this window. I can do this. I can do that. I was just like, do whatever the hell you want with it. That's Cam's now. So if you want that on your conscience, be my guest. And the series, we did take a map against them on Hanamura. I remember that. So go us. But CMU, they also had 5 players on the team, not 6, because I think like one of their tanks just left. And
I think I'm pretty sure.
Or that too, or tech, because they had tech issues that day. I remember that for sure. The only reason why we won that map is because Kyle on Soldier, he took like 1 tick on like point B, and that was just enough. That was all we needed.
Yeah.
And so we
Isn't
got
at the same time. Oh my bad.
No, go on. No.
I was gonna say, isn't that the same time where Connor had that little 1v1 on BAP?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Same map, same series, and then Jermaine didn't know how to break his wall on May, and I think we lost a fight. We lost something. We're just like, break the ball. He's just like, you can do that, and I was just like, what? Oh man.
That sounds like Jermaine.
Yeah, that sounds like Jermaine, all right. But we ended the season tied for 18th. Did not make the playoffs, unfortunately. But I don't think we were gunning for that anyways. We're just like, let's just win and have fun and just get our feet wet. And that's exactly what we did. But going into winter, we do y'all remember how we chose the next captain after Harold? Because I do.
I think like we had a vote.
Very vividly. We had a democratic vote.
I was the coach. I was never the captain.
That's right. Cam was captain, but we switched semesters. So we were like, okay, let's find it. Let's pick a new captain. And we voted on it like Survivor style. I think it's silly. It was really silly because most teams these days they just talk it out and they just make an informed decision based on everyone's opinions. They're like, no, we're gonna vote on it. Everyone's gonna give a speech. And JB, everyone give a speech.
Well, I think the captains giving the speeches was cool.
They were nice.
Did we just write it on pieces of paper?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly what I did.
I didn't mind that. It was anonymous. It was just one of those things where it was just like, you can vote who's the captain.
Yeah.
And,
I liked it back then. I was like, this makes sense. But now that I'm thinking back on it, when I was making my notes, I was like, this was just silly. I knew we didn't know what we were doing.
Very silly.
Yeah, but KB, you won. You won. You were
our
next captain after that.
I won, but it was literally very unexpected. I didn't think I was going to win because like the way we did the nominations were we had like each
Cam,
player
Austin.
coach or something.
Cam, Austin.
Yeah, but we
Those
had like
nominees.
each player coach option that nominated someone from the team, and then you voted for that person.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember the first round of votes. But I remember who was it? It was you three.
Now I remember that, and I think one of the biggest reasons why you were the captain was because it was like, although you weren't like you were formally on the team, but like you weren't actually playing on the thing. You were still actively practicing. You were still actively getting better and bettering yourself as a player. And you were still helping people out, and I think it was Cam who nominated you,
probably
as the player coach. 'Cause I think that's what it was, and I think as he said, it's like you've been helping people out and going the extra mile, whenever it wasn't even really shown in the games.
Okay,
So,
spill it. Who'd y'all? I voted for KP. Spill it. Who'd y'all vote for? Do y'all remember?
I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure I also voted for KP.
Bro.
Yeah, I think I nominated Austin, and so I think I either voted for Austin or KP. I just can't remember.
It was definitely by a landslide because the last two, like the other two contestants had got like tied for like 2 votes, and at that time we had like a full like roster. How many people did we have at that time?
In winter,
we were
in winter, because
like near 12.
We were near 12.
Like
winter to spring,
teams.
yeah. We had technically at 12 from winter to spring, and we'll go over that roster later. But yeah, I will add real quick. I voted for UKB because I remember for the contender LAN, you were kind of like our sub player, but then since Vinny had to drop and I had to do it, I was like, we'll see if I can add you in. You're like, no, I want to be on there. And I was just like, you know what, you're right. And that confidence is what made me vote for you.
Right. Because I was like, give me that.
No, give me that
position,
spot. And I was like,
I need some. Yeah. I need some of that right now.
And I was just like, you sold me. I was like, okay. And then that was that.
He stood up for what he wanted.
Yep.
And that's what we need. That's what we need for our captain.
Exactly. Yeah, that day was pretty fun. But you know what was even more fun? The Winter Invitational. This was so fun.
This is my favorite memory from like whenever I talk about my experience like in collegiate esports, this is it because this was the one time like I mean there were little bits and pieces, but like this is like the one time where I had to like take a step back, like just reflect, and I'm like, what is going on? Because it was like, I remember as they were setting up the camera crew, because we had practice the night before.
Yes.
They were setting up the camera crew, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then whenever I think somebody came in and was like, what size shirt do y'all wear?
Yeah, Leanne. It was Leanne from Events Management, I think.
Yep. And I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. And then whenever we leave and I see the massive photo board.
Oh, yes. That was cool.
I was like,
I still have our photos there. I still have our team photo there.
And so I was like, okay, this is kind of there. And then whenever we got there the next day for the actual invitational, and like the just amount of people that were in the collaboratory.
Oh yeah.
From like the casters, everybody else. And then on top of that, whenever I saw it, they were like, oh, the biggest kicker for me was whenever they were like, okay, so Canes has sponsored this.
Oh yeah.
So
we ate good.
The big kicker for me was they were like, okay, if you brought your personal water bottle, leave that out in the collaboratory, but pour it in a Canes cup.
That's right. I forgot about that.
That's whenever I was like, that's sick.
Whenever I was
like, oh,
and they had the Charlie Brown ones, the Christmas ones, the Charlie Brown Christmas ones.
Yeah.
Those are so cool.
Yeah. It was that's whenever I was like, okay, we actually have sponsors we need to keep happy.
Yes.
Like this is, and plus like they didn't, whenever they catered it, they didn't cater like tailgates like normal kind of sponsorship.
It was meals.
Full meals.
They gave
boxes. Yeah.
It wasn't. It was 3 fingers. It was 3 fingers.
Oh yeah. That
Everybody
makes sense,
got a 3-finger combo, and I was just like, what is happening? And then like small cakes was there, and those cupcakes were. I haven't been back. Like I haven't had one since. But I remember them being
there's a small cakes in my city. I need to go back.
I will say, everybody except for me got a box of Canes because like I remember like
you took all the snacks though at the end.
I did, yeah. I took all the snacks. I'm pretty sure. But like I had gotten Sonic that morning. I was like, I'm not that hungry. So like everybody had just gotten all the boxes before I could get more. But I mean, this was really fun.
Yeah. I'll set the scene. So this was the Winter Invitational. We talked about it in the league podcast. Basically, the school hosted it. All of our school teams were all the our Overwatch team, our Rocket League team, our league team played in the collaboratory. All the local high schools, however many that participated, were at Contender Esports, and it was just we were just playing against other teams. We did not get swept. That was my only goal, and I told you that. Like we don't want to get swept, and that didn't happen. All the games were barn burners, but we did get knocked out on 8th place. Yeah, we got knocked out in 8th place. And I also remember that day. It was day 2, because day 1 we got knocked out, and so KP and I were the only ones that were there because we had to help out. And they were doing like camera pans, and there's a you wrote a sign, KP, that said LSUS Overwatch Team has gone studying, and we were just watching. we were watching like a different game, or no, we were watching. It was actually Colorado Mesa and Newmont. They were actually in quick play gaming together, so we just watched that, and they just panned to that. And Dell, one of the co-hosts, was just like, "Oh, God, study ball. I hope we'll see them later on." It's just like, no, you won't. Everyone's studying for finals. We're studying for finals.
No, because like even though the Winter Invitational was like such a big event, it was literally the week before finals. And I was like, really how am I going to have time to study and participate? It was just crazy.
Yeah.
We had to scrap for a roster.
I think Connor, you and some other Overwatch or some of the other esports players did interviews. I wanted to do that, but I missed the sign up for it.
Yeah, almost all of us did it.
They kept on showing it. Like, I mean, like you must have been one of their favorites, because like I remember like whenever we were, because I remember like in between our games, they would have the broadcast on one of the big screens in the collaboratory.
Yeah.
And I remember just in between games, you'd go out, watch the broadcast, see what it was doing, and talk about the previous round.
Yep.
Just because I mean we were like, because I mean at this point we kind of accepted just like, hey,
we're not making it far.
We're not going to win the thing.
Yeah.
You know, we're just kind of here because this is our event. And so we would go out there, check the broadcast, you know, just soak in everything. And it seemed like in between every single round, Connor's interview came on at some point.
Yep. And you were the first TikTok. You were the first LSUS recruitment TikTok. Your interview. You continue. Sorry, I wanted to add that in.
No, it's all good. And so, but yeah. And one of my favorite lasting things about that is that we were on Liquipedia. Which, like,
that's right.
Yeah, we are. I think it was. CMU
you need to find the link. I can find it. Yeah, that's right. CMU took that.
Everybody to the Liquipedia because the prize pool classified it as a D tier, or like I can't remember.
D or F tier
tournament it was. Yeah. But anyway, it was, and so you can go on Liquipedia, and we are listed on Overwatch Liquipedia.
I need to find that.
Coolest things to me for being like an esports fan, saying that I'm on, like, I have a thing on Liquipedia. I thought you were about to go look it up right now.
No, well, I mean, no. We can find it later and put it in the description if we can find it.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
Another memory of mine that I really liked, it was again, we were like checking out the broadcast, and it was our final game, and like it's been done, like we were knocked out, but the game was still going on, and it was CMU. All the CMU players were like cheering us on. That was like core memory for me. I was like, I finally made it as an athlete, having like legitimate fans by our side. That's what made it the most meaningful to me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Then I got that. What was it?
5K,
3K?
No, 5K.
5K on Hanzo.
Yep.
I was like, bro, I don't even know why I was playing Hanzo at that point. Like, thinking back now, it's like, why didn't I stick to my support roots? Like, what in my head was thinking Hanzo? You know what I'm saying?
Need to mention the roster. The roster was us four, Dragon, Austin, and then Rob was our emergency sub. So that was the roster going into it. We got 8th, and then I think it was like tied for 7th because we tied with like one of the. We didn't get dead last, but we matched the same record as one of the high schools. So that was that, and that was really fun. But it wasn't fun. This scrim I'm about to talk about. So I'll tell this story. So we had a coach, and our coach coached us in a local high school, and he really wanted both of the teams to like get real buddy with each other. The high school was like plat to diamond, just higher ranked than us, and they're just like, y'all really need to get along, and y'all need to learn from each other, and blah blah blah. We didn't get along. We did not get along with our high school for different reasons in the past. But like,
I think they also had a T500 as well.
Probably too. And that T500, fake gamer tag, but I'm going to call him Star. And Star was quite literally their star on the team because he only played Doomfist, and Doomfist, I'll explain him really fast. He likes to go in, get in your face, and just assassinate people. And we could not win against Star. We just couldn't. It was almost impossible. And so the coach was like, hey, let's do like a scrim together. And I as the manager, I was like, okay, we're on board. Let's do it. But don't have Star play. That's the only request I had. I was like, hey, make sure Star doesn't get on. He was like, okay, I got you. And then we practiced for about a month-ish. And it went okay. The practice went okay. There were bright moments, there were low moments. But we get to the day, and like the high school team shows up, but everyone in their freaking parents came too. That lab was completely packed for no reason. And I was just like, what's going on? I was so confused. But guess who else shows up? Star showed up, and I was just, no, I pulled the coach aside. I was like, why is he here? He's like, bro, I didn't even know he came here. I was like, you're the coach. Player managing is like rule number one of being a coach. But even without a manager, and Star played, and guess what? We got annihilated in our own lab, surrounded by their friends and family, and so it was just the worst. Like after map 1, I was mentally checked out.
Yeah,
not all of us were, and I don't remember what happened at the end. KB, you could take it from here, but I know you remember some things that happened after it that I don't remember. So,
like after the game or like during the game,
or both. Please share what you remember.
I think the only thing that I can like recall from it was when their captain Squid like came up to us and he was like, I guess giving us like our props for like playing with them and stuff like that, and then that's when we got to know them a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because after that, we started playing more often with like the
School.
the people that the school, the school. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess it gives us like good practice because I think that was like one of the first times I've ever been like in a scrim because I don't think I scrimmed with y'all
Probably not
during y'all first like inaugural season.
Yep.
And one of the things too was I knew people from this team because I went to said
school.
This was my alumni. This was my alumni, and I think and I thought after the first scrim it was kind of one of those things where I was like, okay, this is like, yes, I mean we suck, but we kind of already knew that at this point. But
it just felt like more of a show match. That's why I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, and whenever he first started mentioning like, hey, because in our practice this coach would mention, hey, because it is a local high school and a local university, those kind of go hand in hand. So he he advertised it as a way to build a pathway and get recruitment to where the team could still thrive after we're gone, because we were only going to be there for 4 years at the most, or I mean realistically
3.
in my case 5 years.
Yeah.
But even then, it still has to evolve once we're gone.
Right.
And so he kind of did it as that way. But I wasn't sure whether it was this scrim or another point. But kind of one of the breaking points for me with this coach was whenever I overheard him, because I mean, the collaboratory was this big open space area.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if you really wanted to talk with somebody, you had to go to the other end to where nobody
else or just leave. Yeah. Just literally go anywhere else in the building.
Yeah, because I mean, you could hear everything no matter where you are in this big room. The acoustics are crazy. And so, anyway, but of course, I remember walking out to go to the bathroom or something, and he was talking to his team, to his high school team, and he was talking about he's like, yeah, see, this is what y'all can do. Y'all can beat college kids if y'all put y'all's mind to it. Just being super positive, right? But to us, I think he was like, oh, y'all are absolute trash.
Or I think like team diff. I think he just said team diff. It's just a team diff, and it's just like
But I mean, he said that. I think he used those words, but I mean, things where y'all are so bad, y'all just got beat by high schooler. It's just like, what's going on? And that's kind of whenever I realized he was using us to hype up the high schoolers.
Yeah.
And that's whenever I didn't become a big fan of this guy. Is because I understand you want to help your high schoolers, but if you say to us you want to help us, actually help them.
Right.
And on top of that too, there was one time, I remember this very vividly, where I was in the school caf, just getting something to eat, and I run into him. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing here or whatever? He goes, oh, I'm going to talk to admin to see if I can get paid for a coach. I'm like, oh, that's new.
Yep.
And then I mentioned it to Elliot, and Elliot's like, what?
I was like,
doing that?
No, I was just like, I didn't think he had that much pull. I was like,
was the president.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
At the time, Haley was the president, and I don't even think Haley knew that he was doing that.
Yeah.
And so that's whenever like red flags started popping up everywhere.
Yep. And
you continue now.
Gotcha. But yeah, just that scrim, Did not like that at all. But now we're going to get into spring 2022. This was when we had the biggest roster ever because it was the four of us. Let me get my full list. Austin, Colton, Jack, Kyle, Hayden, Rachel, and then Philo. That was all 12 of us. Biggest roster in the club's history. We beat 2 teams this time, not 1. So we set a new record. Or I think it was technically 3, but we beat 2 colleges. I remember that vividly.
Forfeit.
Yeah, one of them was a forfeit. Yeah, but there were 2 that we actually won. But the thing was, after week 1, like 4 people left. It was you two, Harold and Connor, and then who else was it? Austin and Kyle and Jermaine. So the 5 of y'all just left after that, and because like in between that time we were doing a lot of in-houses because we had that much players. I didn't think they were that productive because like it was kind of obvious just based on select players who would just win the whole map. But yeah, y'all left. Everyone had their different reasons. It was pretty peaceful, pretty amicable. Just that was that. They don't want to be on the team at the end. But the 2 teams. Do y'all remember the 2 teams?
I don't think I remember I was there for the forfeit.
Yes, I don't remember the forfeit team, but we did get a forfeit
Yeah,
win.
I remember I was there for the forfeit. I think I was there for one of the 2. I don't think I was there for.
I think it starts with a C. I have no idea. I don't know if it's.
It's
I
not
think it was like
a
a
C.
C. It wasn't a C college. It wasn't Cotty. No,
Nope.
that's
That's Valorant.
I'm sorry.
No.
That's Valorant.
No, it's all good.
Spoilers for that podcast.
Spoilers, KP. Jesus.
Right.
No, but our wins it was Baldwin Wallace Academy, and
that's what it was.
And
the little B.
Yeah, and Norwich, the military
Norwich.
College.
Okay.
Those were our wins. I think we swept both of them, if I'm not mistaken. My memory's a little.
Yeah, it was a sweep for those 2.
Yeah. Or no,
Yeah,
Norwich was a barn burner. We went all the way because I still have the map 5 footage, I think, or I don't think I have it anymore. Norwich, we went all the way, but we swept Baldwin Wallace.
Okay.
So that was that, and then we had a lot more players, so we had a lot more flexibility, and we had more coaching staff at that time. And there was also I remember, this is my favorite memory of this of that season. There was a team member that was interviewing me after the game, and it was your birthday, KP, February 22nd, 2022. And so 21st. But it was a day after we played on the 22nd. And so I told him, like, shout out to KP, it was his birthday, but today was Tuesday, 2/22/22. And I was like, you know what? This was my first game that season because I was benched for the first half, but I came back. And I was like, you know what? I saved the universe. I'm back on the team. We swept them, and so I saved the universe. So you're welcome, everyone. We're all still here.
Right.
Only the most humble.
Yes.
The most humble.
The most humble. But there was one school that we had a problem with, technically, and it was Gettysburg. Do y'all remember what happened with Gettysburg?
I feel like they didn't give us enough time for something, or they were just being really aggy.
No, I think
very strict about certain things.
Maybe
we thought that they were like stream sniping us or something like that. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Because they told us, they were like, "Oh, what happened to your delay?" And they were on our stream. It's like, "How do you know we don't have the delay?"
And I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Whoa! But they were technically in the right. We did not have a delay, but them just calling it out, we're just like, and they did win that map too. So we're just like, "What? Hold on."
Yeah, they said that after the fact. Like, they didn't even say like a pause or like, because you can pause the game midway and be like, okay.
Yeah. That's happened in other games in the future. But there's another thing that after that game, we got flooded with hate comments. I'm not saying it was not confirmed if Gettysburg did or did not do it. We don't know what happened. I'm leaving it out of it. We got some weird hate comments. That was the first time that happened to us where we're just confused. I was confused.
Me too.
I was just like,
I don't know
what? But ultimately, we ended 3-3 or 3-4. Again, did not go into playoffs, unfortunately, because we were on NACE at that time, and we had a Swiss stage, which basically meant we faced off against people with the same win-loss record. That was technically better than what Play Versus did, but we still had to face some pretty heavy teams, pretty high-ranking teams. But that was kind of better. Do y'all have any favorite memories from that semester y'all wanted to share real fast? If any.
I mean, I think
like the only thing you can go, Harold.
Yeah, I mean, I think just one of the things, like looking back on it, like, and especially now, was that, like, although I left, I feel like I still could have been a little bit more active with the team after I left, because once I left, it was just no contact. I think the only person I still had contact with was Elliot and Austin.
Yeah.
Just because Austin was had become a nothing against y'all, but like just because I'd been working with him a whole bunch and everything else, and I knew what that other coach had, his experience with the other coach.
Yeah.
That it was one of those things where it was like, okay, he had a similar bad experience, and so we kind of bonded over that. And then I think Elliot, you still kept in touch with me just because
just out of being nice. Yeah.
Just being nice, and also inviting me to some of the tournaments.
Yes, that's what we'll get into next, because summer 2022 was our first technically off season, but we had our first show match with CMU. The Overwatch 2 beta just came out, and so I went to CMU. I was like, we got to do something. We got to play together. And they're like, yeah, we're down. It was a fun night. It was. I'm trying to remember who represented LSUS. It was KP, myself. Were you there, Connor?
No, I wasn't.
No,
so I never got the beta.
Yeah. That's right. It was Rob. It was us two, Rob and Colton. That was us, and maybe like one other person, but I don't remember. And then
I remember being a part of one.
The second one. That was the second one. That was in the Overwatch 2 one, which we'll discuss in the Overwatch 2 episode. But yeah, it was us four, and then we had Base Rhythm from LSU Baton Rouge, and then everyone else was with CMU. And so we did that. It was KP. We stomped them pretty hard. It was because the majority of the teams, it was you, me, Badger, and Absent, who were CMU's carries, and then whichever our fifth was, and we won almost all the games.
Yeah, which was kind of crazy because like Badger was a little too good that day.
Yep.
I think he was only playing like hit scan. He was playing like Cassidy
and Widow,
and then like
Widow for sure.
Yeah, and Widow. And he was just going like insane to the point where like we won so many games we had to put him on other teams.
Yeah.
And like they would win, and then you have to put him on another team, and then like they would win. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is going on?
Yeah, because we played 5 or 6 games. After map 1, we stomped them so hard. It's like, okay, we're doing player swaps now, like new rule player swaps, and that went sort of well. But yeah, we won that. We won that show match for sure, I would say. Let's see what else happened. Yeah, we had 4 people casting. It was Rachel, 2 other team members, and I think Libby from Chess. They were our casters. That was their first time casting. They were simping over Badger pretty hard.
Pretty bad.
Really bad. They're down bad. Badger's
definitely
a great player.
Questionable things.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And I remember for the tournament that I was in, like for the second one, I made the mistake of telling some of my friends, like my RL friends that I went to high school with and everything else about it. And so, and of course, I gave them the stream link, and of course, they all turned up, and they were just flooding the chat with just "Go Harold." Go.
That's right, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think at one point I Rhine charged off of the edge, just trying to go for like a cheeky play or something like that, and then one of my friends types in Harold moment or something like that.
I remember I watched it live, yeah.
And that caught on. So to where whenever I would do something bad, there's a Harold moment. I'm like,
Harold moment.
I was like,
Harold moment.
And of course, my friends, they were like, we should have been recording. We were all falling out of our chairs.
I have a few clips. Yeah. I've still have a few clips from that other tournament, but the final thing that happened with the Overwatch 1 team, we had a boot camp with LSU Baton Rouge. And I'm trying to remember who was on the roster at that time. It was KP, me, Colton, Rachel, Cam, and maybe Jack. And maybe Austin, I think. So that was the roster back then. We were just playing with LSU Baton Rouge players. They would coach us, and we would just like play. We did some scrims. We did some comp together. But ultimately, that kind of just fell flat because we had a bad first impression with LSU Baton Rouge, their team. I won't get into it, but we had a bad first impression, but that got remedied eventually. And
Well, I think Bokuto,
Rachel, yeah.
Rachel, and wasn't Philo there too?
I think he graduated at that
Oh,
point.
okay.
I might have like stood in for like during those.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe Connor too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember like going to Contenders and like being there with y'all.
No, we did this in
Yeah.
at the. Did we go to Contenders for that? We probably did. I don't.
We did one time because I think they couldn't do like a Friday, like they couldn't do a weekday, and it had to be like a Saturday or Sunday or something like
Right, so that's
that,
why we
and
went
then
to
we had to go
Contender,
to
yeah.
Contenders.
Yep.
I remember like some point we went to Contenders for like some sort of boot camp thing.
Yeah.
Which are R.I.P. Contenders.
Yeah, RIP Contenders
R.I.P.
doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, but like ultimately, like that, like boot camp, that's what made the team implode. Because like, I'll be honest, the teachers weren't the best. They didn't have the best teaching style. That was one thing. And then what else was it? There's a lot of like internal drama between all the players. I won't get into it. It's not my business to share. But like a lot of people, yeah. But like a lot of people just didn't get along with each other on the LSUS side, not on the LSU side. And what else was it? And also, everyone was starting to be done with Overwatch 1 because Overwatch 2 was coming out that fall, and this was like 2 or 3 months before or 4 months before the game came out. So we were just like, we're starting to be like, oh, why bother playing the game and whatnot. And then also there was another team member who won't say their name, but basically the Overwatch 1 team became their friend group. So they kind of just absorbed us. And that just led to like just less time just on Overwatch in general, which wasn't a bad thing. It was just like our focus was being diverted away to what they wanted to do. And also there was a lot of like internal issues. There was like, I'll share this story real fast. Like there was some official like team or like club business, and then someone from the team shared it to the friend group and to that team member, and then I became public enemy number 1 because I was like the critic behind whatever we were discussing. And so I was just like, we can't be doing this. We're in our 20s.
Oh,
like
literally.
we're like this doesn't like it's a club.
We're so grown.
Yeah, it's just like, come on now. But yeah, that's what ultimately broke up the Overwatch 1 team, and then that's how it ends. Just the Overwatch 1 team, just like we ran out of players for the boot camp, and so like I talked to KP, we're just like, let's just call it like the end, and that was that. That's the whole history of the Overwatch 1 team.
Yeah, that was about it. I was kind of sad, but
Yeah.
hey.
I mean, it was fun while it lasted.
Yes,
it was.
It really was.
It was awesome.
Yes,
and I think it kind of, I think the chapter, based off what y'all were saying, of course, I wasn't there for the end, but I feel like it just kind of ended at the right time for
I'd say so.
To be a fresh start.
Yep.
And just kind of go from there.
Yeah. I will say, I'll tell this story really fast and then we'll wrap up because I think we're over time. But my favorite moment of all time, and I'll ask everyone this will be like the final question. My favorite memory of all time in the Overwatch 1 team, we were scrimming against Eastern Philadelphia, or Pennsylvania, I think it was the EPU. Rest in peace, they no longer exist. We were scrimming against them. We were on Hanamura, we were on attack. I'm on Lucio. Basically just like a speed demon DJ. His whole point is to get people to places faster. That's it. And so we got to the point. I held onto that point alone for like 2 minutes straight. They couldn't get me. Nobody could tag me or anything. And like I remember like,
oh my god,
once we finished that map, like I threw my headphones down and I was just like this because I was just like stunned. I was just like, I can't believe I did that. And then the former coach was like cheering me. I was like, you did it. And then like he lifted me over his head. Like, yeah, you did it. I was like, I did it. And then that was the best feeling. I still have that. Then that is Lucio right there. That's the character I played.
That's a good.
The GOAT. Always meta, always has been, never changed Lucio. But that was my favorite moment. What were y'all's favorite like singular moment?
So for me, like obviously like playing in the Winter Invitational was super fun, and that was like probably my favorite. But like probably like the most memorable for me was like there was one scrim that we had. I forget like which one. This was like like when we had the former coach and all that.
Mm.
And I don't remember if I was in the map, right? And at some point, I just like started getting a really bad nosebleed, so I had to like rush
Yep.
out and had to go.
I remember.
I had to go fix up my nosebleed.
Yep.
And
we probably paused.
it's kind of fun.
Or not.
Yeah,
I
like
remember, yeah.
I asked for a pause, and it was really funny in hindsight, but it was probably like one of the most memorable moments for me.
All right, what about you two?
Mine was either probably that first win, just because it was like, it was finally one of those things where it was like, okay, all the time and effort and everything else was.
And that was
had
5
finally
weeks
been
in,
realized in one sense, or just the Winter Invitational, because that was kind of one of the first times that I felt like, oh, this is legit. It's no longer just some friends meeting up for a club in college. Like, this has legitimate sponsors and everything else. And so that was kind of my biggest thing. It was like, oh, it made me feel like it was beyond just a video game at that point. And that was kind of the most memorable for me. It's because I felt like, oh, like I'm actually part of a big organization to per se. I felt like I made it, kind of.
Okay. I don't want to be too sappy because I have one, but I have two.
Yeah, go ahead.
So like the first one is like
Yeah, go ahead.
just playing in a competitive sense with people that I knew in general. Because like during that time, I didn't know anything about Overwatch. I had picked it up like 3 months beforehand, still playing on console, then switched to PC, which was a really big like jump.
Me
and
too.
then
I had to switch
got
too,
into it. Yeah, I think a lot of us were on
Majority of
console
us
before we started on
switched.
PC.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then
I think part of the reason too why you couldn't play was because you weren't level 25 or something like that on PC.
Yep.
You weren't.
That was another factor. Yep.
Ranked, yeah.
And then just playing in general with like people that actually love to play the game. And then my specific moment was when I learned how to super jump on Mercy.
Really? No, I didn't realize that was a core memory for you. I love it.
It was. I think I learned it mid scrim because I was trying so hard at home to do it and I could never do it. And then I did it mid scrim and I was just screaming. I was like, "Oh my god, I did it too!" I don't know if y'all know, but like literally to the audience and stuff, the super jump for Mercy in Overwatch 1 was like a very technical skill. You had to like press certain buttons at a certain time.
I had to learn it too.
And if you mess up, you end up like flinging yourself into the team.
Yep.
Into the enemy team. You know what I'm saying? And so like it's either you get it right or you die. Like it wasn't no in between.
And it's like now like in Overwatch 2, like it's just like a core, like
you can't even
do it automatically on.
Yeah.
No, like you still have super jump. It's just like it's not as technical as it used to be. It's just like it's an ability that's part of the kit now.
Yep.
Definitely.
I think like in Overwatch 1 it was like a bug.
It was definitely a bug. And it was definitely a rewarding experience because like the amount of things you could do with Mercy after learning how to super jump was like insane.
Yep. I'm glad everyone was here to talk about that, and audience, stay tuned for the Overwatch 2 episode because there's a sequel to this. The only I know that's crazy, but yeah. This will be the only episode that has like a proper sequel, so be sure to tune in for that whenever it comes out. And with that, we are going to say farewell and take care, and we will see you all later. Bye, guys.